Julianne Pelusi here with Alan Saunders on the platforms of Steelers Now. First of all, Alan, I want to thank you for the warm welcome onto the team here at Steelers Now. Already feeling right at home with you guys in the crew. And also the Steelers welcoming somebody new to Latrobe and training camp. A great time to get started here at training camp. Jaylen Ramsey coming in to camp. I'm guessing that is probably his first time in Latrobe. There's a lot to do. But his first time in Latrobe, getting to meet the Steelers media again, and he was pretty tight-lipped with them when he first saw them at camp. Not explaining exactly how he's going to be used in this defense. Mike Tomlin, he's being coy too. Alan, what do you have to say for how they're going to use him?
Yeah, well, first of all, welcome to the team. Super excited to have you here on the YouTube platform talking about the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think this is going to be a great fit, and really excited to see all the content we got coming. And we got a ton of it. We talked to Jaylen Ramsey today. We talked to all the other players. It's a great time of year to be starting, and so fired up about that. Jaylen Ramsey, yeah, I mean, the big question, the obvious question when he comes to Pittsburgh, they had Darius Slay, they had Joey Porter Jr. Where does he fit? How does he go into this defense? And he saw the obvious question coming. We got nothing out of him in the press conference. He just said, I'm going to play football. Whatever that means. I mean, we knew he was going to play football. We didn't think he came to join the Riverhounds or the Penguins, right? But I don't, Mike Tomlin very similarly said, you can call them coverage players. They're all going to cover. The point Tomlin's trying to make there is that it doesn't really matter what you want to call them. They're all going to be on the field at the same time. And I think that is the way the Steelers are going to play. Now, I don't know what you want to call that. It's not something you see with a lot of defenses doing, playing three outside corners all the time at the same time. But it's going to be interesting. And but yeah, they're not going to be able to hide this very long. We're going to see what happens at practice number 1 here very shortly. So they're not giving up the game, but we're going to get to the bottom of this here by the end of this first week.
Yeah, really all he was saying is look at what they're paying me, and I am being paid to make an impact here on this defense. The backbone of this defense is a little bit older now, so it's going to be interesting to see how he's used and how he moves throughout camp.
Yeah, and I'm not sure that it's going to be the same for every opponent either. I think it'll look very different for a team like the Cincinnati Bengals, where you've got multiple, very talented receivers, even down to their third receiver, Andre Yoshivas, is a real matchup problem, compared to a team like the Chiefs, where he might cover Travis Kelce. The Ravens gave the Steelers fits with their 2 tight ends last year. Jaylen Ramsey certainly can cover a tight end. And so I think it's going to be different on different opponents as well. It's not just going to be him being in the same place in the defense every week.
And also, Alan, we're going to see how Jaylen Ramsey fits in here. We're going to hear from him in a second about what he had to say about the Steelers franchise and why he's so excited to be in here. But I wanted to bring up one of the things he said about Mike Tomlin was before he got drafted. He said Tomlin and his crew came down to Tallahassee, absolutely knowing that they weren't going to get Jaylen Ramsey. But Ramsey said he was broke and he got a free meal, and Mike Tomlin was a pretty cool guy for that.
Mike Tomlin's famous for this. I think every time we get a new free agent or a trade acquisition into the building, we're always asking him, so how did you meet Mike Tomlin? Because it's always some version of this story. Took him out to dinner before the pro day or a combine, a senior bowl, what have you. He's an elite relationship builder. I think it's one of his greatest strengths as a coach. And those guys remember those, man. When you're he is unique in the NFL head coaching community that he goes all out in that draft prep process. But one of the reasons he does that is he wants to know how these guys are wired, what makes them tick, wants to build those relationships from the beginning. So every guy we talk to remembers, oh yeah, I remember going out to dinner. Mike Tomlin took me out to dinner. He was really cool. Or he asked me this question and I was flabbergasted or whatever. And I think, Jaylen Ramsey was a really good player. The Steelers were not going to draft him, but that's why he does that, and he ends up with a lot of them. We've talked to. I think we had the same, almost exact same story about a young Patrick Peterson at LSU a few years ago when he ended up in Pittsburgh. It's just who Mike Tomlin is and what he does.
Right? It might not be as memorable now with all that NIL money running around out there, but obviously Jaylen Ramsey really remembers that, and also a big standout for him are those 6 Lombardi trophies that the Steelers have, and we're going to hear from Jaylen Ramsey right now.
Warrior franchise. I haven't, obviously I won a Super Bowl, love my time with the LA Rams, but I can't necessarily say that I've played for like a story franchise like this yet. So this is very exciting for me. I'm just embracing all of it.
Alan, is this a little bit of a slight to the Miami Dolphins?
I think it is a little bit. Clearly Jaylen Ramsey was not happy in Miami. He asked to be traded. The Dolphins were happy to trade him, and in fact kind of bent over backwards to trade him. So there was definitely some strained relationships there. And I thought Jaylen Ramsey pretty well behaved himself in this press conference in terms of saying things that could be seen as inflammatory to his former team. But this one, the ears perked up a little bit, right? Like, okay, are the Dolphins a franchise on the same level as the Pittsburgh Steelers? No. I mean, almost certainly not. But they've been around a while. I don't know. This could certainly be interpreted as a slight, and I don't think that would be wrong to say. And it's clear that there's some bad feelings still. He also went on to talk about how nice it's going to be playing for a defensive head coach in Mike Tomlin after playing for a head coach who runs a video game offense. And
Right.
Daniel, when you're highlighting how different the new place is, you can't really do that without saying, well, it's better than the old place.
Yeah, that's kind of hard to do. And then also when it comes to battles, you may recall he and DK Metcalf going after the whistle a lot in their careers so far. Are you excited to see those two go at it in camp?
I don't know that they're going to be the two. I think Mike Tomlin might try to get Joey Porter Jr. over there a little bit. But yeah, DK there's going to be a long line to like every corner on the team is going to want that matchup.
Right.
And DK kind of handed it to Joey when they went up against one another in Joey's rookie year in Seattle. Metcalf went off against him. It was probably the worst game of his rookie season. So I think he's been waiting for that. Jaylen Ramsey and DK Metcalf have had their battles, physical battles as well. This training camp is one of the most physical in the NFL. I think Mike Tomlin is excited to see how these guys who have not been in environments like this, and especially you want to talk about coming from places like Miami and the Rams with these sort of new age head coaches that don't ever tackle and they don't ever play their players in preseason. It's going to be a very different transition for a guy like Jaylen Ramsey to Pittsburgh Steelers, and I think he's going to enjoy it. I think this is going to be a place where he's going to get back to playing football and feel energized by it. But yeah, we could see some fireworks. I think Mike Tomlin's probably hoping.
Yeah. There we go. Alan Saunders at training camp in Latrobe right now, and we have so much on our website, SteelersNow.com, so make sure that you stick with us throughout training camp and throughout the season. I'm Julianne Pelusi with Alan Saunders.